Okay, what are you saying, people, and welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel. So today, guys, got another live trade breakdown. We'll be doing more of these videos in the near future as you guys have been requesting them. But today I'll be talking about my CADJPY loss, which I took last week, all the reasons why I entered the trade, entry, stop loss, targets, all of that. I'll be sharing that today, and also what I could do to improve in the future. I do share all my trades on my Telegram, so if you want to check that out, feel free to go do so. Links in the description to that Telegram. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, right, guys, welcome to the chart. So on my screen, as you can see, I've got CADJPY with the risk to reward tool representing my loss I had for around 80 pips. So I'm going to explain, like I said, I'm going to explain this trade from the top down to the bottom, what I could have done better, and also what I'm looking next for CADJPY. So I'll start with the higher time frames because, as you already know, or if you don't know, I do use the higher time frames to calculate my bias of where I'm expecting the market to go, and I drop lower to enter my trade so I can maximize the risk to reward. So for this one, I was actually starting up in the monthly. Don't always start on the monthly, but for this one I did, and I was looking at where price is heading to, because CADJPY and all the other JPY pairs have been extremely bullish. So I'm seeing areas where that bullish momentum can start to deplete, and where we can start to see some sellers coming into the market. And this was a very obvious level here at 106 on CADJPY in the monthly time frame, where you can see big drives to the downside from these areas. So I'm looking to see a reaction from this level. Again, nothing major, not necessarily another move like that. That could happen, of course, but I'm just looking to see if we can find a bearish month, at least, because we haven't seen a bearish month since back down here, and we've just been seeing strong bullish candles one after the other. So I'm looking for some retracement now for CADJPY. We well could break through this level and continue going. If that's the case, break and retest, we can go higher. There's still some targets up there we can be looking at, but generally speaking, from this 106 level, I'm looking to see some downside. So from a higher time frame perspective, I'm already trading in a very critical area. Now going on to the weekly time frame, if I just use the bar replay tool, because this is the price action that I was looking at the time. Obviously I'm recording this in the future, but this is the price action I'm looking at the time. So I'm looking for some more retracement, and typically there's mainly two types of retracement. You can get the impulsive move, the move in this case in a bullish direction to the upside. You get the retracement, and then you get the continuation. What I'm looking for is a two-step, like a bull flag pattern, push, retracement one, and the second one, and then the move. So I'm looking for this pattern to happen for CADJPY here. We've already seen one bearish candle there. I'm looking for us to form a lower high, since this bullish week, this weekly candle failed to continue, gave us nice wicks. I'm looking to see if we can get one more move to the downside, and maybe from here we might push and continue higher. So I'm looking for that kind of bull flag pattern to happen. So I have to identify where that potential low high could be happening, and this for me, I'm anticipating to be the next lower high in reference to the high up here on the left on the daily time frame. So I'm looking for this to be the lower high, one more drive to the downside, and then maybe we might go bullish again to the upside, all being because we're still trading in that monthly zone at 106. So that's kind of the theory, the plan of the trade, looking for one more push to the downside. Had a nice target here of broken resistance, which never came back for the retest of support. We came pretty close here, but we never actually came back to retest it. And more often than not, you do see price come back to retest broken levels. So especially levels which had a break with a lot of impulsive momentum, like as you can see here. So for CADJPY, I was looking for those shorts to come back and retest that. Again, I had some other targets for the trade, so I would have been looking to take partials or exit the trade early if we didn't get there. My first target was this support here, of course, and then a second one at this low over here, and then the final one down there at 101.067, basically 101, nice psychological level. So what I was looking for the trade is, we've got the lower high, we've got the high up there, sorry. Now I'm anticipating this to be the next lower high. Now I'm looking for a lower high in reference to these highs in the 4H time frame. We've got one there, a second one, and I'm looking for a third one to form somewhere for the next drive to the downside. We've got this broken support coming back to be retested as resistance. So I'm basically looking to see if we can hold this level for sales to the downside. So if you don't know, I use 1 hour candlesticks to enter my trades. So I'm monitoring this on the hourly time frame. So if I just click continue. You can see this happened here. Again, this is the Asian session. I don't trade the Asian session. I'm asleep, so I'm not looking to place trades here, but a nice move to the downside, reacting from that same level. We came back up to retest it again. This is around 4 or 5 a.m. I'm typically on the charts from around 7 UTC London time. And then we get that big strong move to the downside. So you can see prices form this level quite nicely. We break above that level, retest it as support. Then we had a strong close back underneath. So for me, that was my entry signal, and I entered on that strong impulsive candles. I like entering off them because they're meaningful, especially when you're taking them from areas of value. But unfortunately, it was actually a false break. So if I continue to press play, you can see the trade go and fail. Eventually, there we go. So we actually go and fail and hit my stop loss. But my mistake with this trade was because normally, you know, if you're ever in my live streams, you know that I always take break and retest, and I avoid taking breakouts. Reason being, most breakouts are actually false. So I try to avoid taking breakouts, and I mainly stick with taking the retest when that happens. But in this instance, I got a bit too excited. Maybe the risk to reward and the swing kind of got me too excited for the trade. So I entered the trade on the break of the level, because as you can see, we've got this level of resistance and support, and the market's actually used that as resistance once during the Asian session back over here. Nice move to the downside. We broke back above the level, used it as support briefly here for those wicks, came back below, which is where I entered my trade on this, and then we actually closed right back above and continued. So I entered the trade on the false breakout, which was my mistake. I should have waited for the market to break underneath the level, come back and retest it, and then when I get another entry signal, that should have been my trade to enter, and would have looked something like this, probably get a better stop loss as well. And as you can see, that never happened. We closed straight back above that level and just continued to fly. So again, something to focus on. Make sure you're focusing on the break and retest rather than breakouts. Obviously, some breakouts will work, but majority of them are false. So that was my mistake for the trade. I should have waited for price to continue down a little bit more, come back and retest, and then look for my entry. But I entered a little bit too aggressively. Price closed back above, and as you can see, went to the upside and eventually hit my stop loss. But that was my mistake with the trade. I mean, I'm still expecting CADJPY to head to the downside. If I just get rid of the replay tool here, you can see we are still failing to break through. Break through that level up there. So I'm still bearish on the pair. As long as we don't break through this, I'm still looking for this level to be the lower high resistance, and that's to melt back to the downside. But I do have to be careful. Reason being, the market is still printing higher lows. As you can see, one there, the second one there, and potentially could be a third one there. So I have to be careful. So what I'm looking for is, I didn't mean to do that. What I'm looking for is one more drive to the upside. And if you fail again to break through this, it will tell me that sellers are holding this level. And again, this is all within that monthly resistance at 106 on the monthly time frame. And then once we get that reaction, I won't enter there because the market could potentially retrace and then go break through. I'll wait for a lower high to form just to get the probability more in my favor. It might form up here, it might drop a little bit deeper and form down here. But when that lower high does form, that's when I look to enter my trade, just to make it a little bit less riskier, shift the probability a little bit more in my favor. And again, my targets are down here. There's more than enough pips to catch. This target was around 358 pips if it was successful, so I could be looking at something similar as well. So that's the plan for CADJPY going forward. Obviously, you need to wait and be patient to see what happens. If we break through that resistance, then I'm expecting price to come back to these highs and just continue that bullish trend, where maybe I can look for sells sometime in the future when structure starts to shift bearish again. But as of right now, that's kind of the opportunity I'm looking at. And that was my loss there in CADJPY. So I'll monitor this position, this pair, this market, and I'll see if I can get another entry. And if I do, I'll be sure to make a video on that as well. Loss, win, or break even, or whatever. But yeah, that's the loss on CADJPY. Again, lesson learned with that one. Make sure to wait for the break and retest. But yeah, guys, if you enjoy seeing these videos, leave a comment down below. Any other videos, ideas that you want to see in the channel as well, leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to read all you guys' comments and respond to them. But if you have enjoyed the video, guys, leave a like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Really does help the channel out. And if you want to see more of this content, keep yourself in the loop, subscribe, we'll be very, very grateful to welcome you guys to the family. But with all that said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.